Welcome to your daily focus for March the 8th, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Look what fell out. Ten of Cups. And I'm listening to the coyotes howling in the background and the train whistle going off in the background just as I started the video. And I think, oh, we are going on a mysterious and magical ride, aren't we? And then the Ten of Cups falls out. Ten of Cups is your happily ever after. So if you take the numerology for today, we have March the 8th, 2018. So March is a 3, 8 is an 8, and 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 is 11, right? So that comes to 22, which is a master number. And that number says that you see where you can make the impossible possible, where other people have said no, you said yes, you went ahead, you do it. And it brings great financial reward, success into your life. And 22 is the sky's the limit. If you are willing to tap into your originality, tap into your creativity, your heart center, your passion, your sensuality, the happily ever after card comes out today. And Jupiter goes stationary retrograde today. So Jupiter is getting ready to go backwards. It's done going forward now. And like every planet, it's like on a pendulum, right? So the planet goes through and then it holds there for a second and comes back through, right? So there's a slow, and then the momentum builds. All of a sudden, we're speeding through the energy until it gets hung up again and comes back through. So let's put that card back in the deck. So Jupiter retrograde, especially in Scorpio, it's our abundance that we find deep inside of us. The more we dig, the more we are truthful to ourselves, are true to ourselves, are honest with ourselves about what really makes us happy, what really brings in joy, what things match our values, our morals, our beliefs, our goals and dreams in life, and what does not, and being honest with ourselves. Jupiter kind of gives you, when it goes retrograde, almost gives you that that detox where you can reflect on what you have been asking for and know that chances are very high over the next 4 months, because I think it goes retrograde for 4 months. Over the next 4 months, you will be tested in some way for that abundance that you have been asking for, that abundance that you have been pushing for. Whether it is love or stature in the community, a better career, a job, money in the bank, good health, well-being, heightened spirituality. Let's give these cards a good shuffle. So, and we detoxify. We detoxify our world. We see what doesn't belong. We refuse to let it have a presence in our life. It could be a situation, it could be a way of thinking. We're all walking a different path, and yet we are all surrounded by the same energy. So let's see what the cards say about the energy that surrounds us today so that we can move forward in a positive light. Look at this. We have the Four of Cups. It's about abundance today. It's about recognizing your abundance today. It's about being grateful for your abundance today. And chances are there'll be a lot of reasons why you shouldn't be grateful, or you shouldn't even pay attention to the grateful things, because this went wrong and that went wrong and this sucks in my life and I don't have any of this and there's a lack for that. And I wish I could just find this because then I would be happy. And not seeing the beauty that surrounds you and the beauty that is within you, because we are going deep within ourselves. We are looking at our morals. We are looking at our values. The Knight of Pentacles in the middle. So know that when a knight shows up, especially, wow, right in the middle, the knight shows up, messages abound. You will get messages on what you need to concentrate on, what you need to focus on, what is a good environment for you, what isn't a good environment for you. And so you need to listen to those clues, those signs, those hints. And that'll ride you into an abundance. Look at, he holds that pentacle. He goes forward, and look at the green, the growth, the heart center. And growth through your passions, your dreams, your desires, what you want in life. And our third card, King of Wands, sits there and laughs at us. That's what I get with this guy here. I mean, he's, look at this guy. I mean, he looks like he'd be a lot of fun. Doesn't he? It looks like they said, you're the king, and he put on the crown, and the last guy had a head that was much bigger than his, and so the crown falls down around his head, and he goes, we'll fix it later. Let's go on the adventure. Let's have some fun. Let's do it. Enough with this doubt and this worry and this concern and letting things pull you down. Let's take ownership of the path and go forward. He's wearing the cape of courage, the cloak of courage, of strength, of passion. Even the sky is red behind him. So a lot of fire energy, a lot of momentum that can happen from this energy today. So we start with the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is all about, this is the gratitude card. What are you grateful for? If I asked you to name 10 things that you are grateful for, okay? So I'll give you like 5 seconds and just think about 10 things that you are grateful for. Okay, enough time. You better have been number 1 on that list. That you are grateful for your talents, your abilities, your beauty, your love, your heart, your empathy, your humanitarianism, your laughter, your smile, your caring gestures. Be grateful for your intuition. Be grateful for your wisdom, your talents, your abilities. Be grateful that you truly do possess the knowledge of how to go forward already inside of you. We have 2 individuals sitting there, and it's an oh woe with me as they sit in the middle of paradise. They don't realize that they have good health. They have eyes in which to see and feet on which to walk. They have each other. They're surrounded by beauty. So I shared some research a little while ago, but we want to revisit it with this card as the first card, okay? So it was research, and they found that the happiness level, and they asked him, when are you happiest and how happy are you, and, the survey questions. When we are a child, only raise 2 or 3% by the time we are elderly. That's a lot of spinning of wheels. But they also had clinical experiments happening where they proved that they could raise happiness levels by 10, 20, 30%. And they had a list of, I think it was 100 things that you could do. But the first one is exercise. The first one is getting out and, take a 5-minute walk. Those happiness hormones start to release when you walk for 5 minutes. Stress is lower. Happiness, self-esteem rises. It's just an automatic thing that happens when we walk. So start exercising if you're not. And if you already are, then maybe you want to raise the bar a little bit. Exercise. The second thing to do was a gratitude journal. By taking a little bit of time each day to say something that happened during that day, or maybe once a week, although I think it should be a daily practice. So something that happened or something that you are happy for in your life, you're grateful for. And if you're in a really bad place and you really don't think there's a lot to be grateful for, then take a piece of paper and write on it, I have a pillow to put my head on tonight. I'm grateful that I have a pillow. And the next night, write one thing underneath that and say both of them. And in about a month's time, watch your world change. Because it changes your mindset, it changes the energy around you, it raises your vibration, your self-esteem, your own self-worth. We are bombarded by commercials and of everything. You go on Facebook, somebody's telling you you don't own something or you're not doing something, and everybody else is. And so you are less worthy than everybody else. You're not as good as everybody else because you don't have this yet. There's a lack of in our society today. We look at what we lack rather than what we have, and then we lose something that we have and we're devastated. We forget all about the things that we don't have. Those things just don't matter at the present because you've lost something valuable to you. Usually it's a relationship, although it could be an object with a great value, sentimental value to you. So you do have to fight back with your own time of telling yourself that you do have in this life, that there are things to cherish, that there are things to be grateful for. Knight of Pentacles sits right in the middle here. Messages, messages, messages about going forward with abundance. Now remember, the 3 March is all about the Empress. So what beautiful energy, because she is our strongest diplomat and she is our strongest intuitive. And, it just flashed to me the 22, okay, is very much about thinking you can do something that nobody else dares to or believes that it will be successful. And yet making very grounded decisions in order to get there, in order to accomplish. That's the Empress, but that's also the energy of today, the 22. So we have that really strong diplomatic energy just through the numerology. We have 8. 8 is our strength card. So we don't have to go and manipulate. We don't have to undermine somebody else. We lead with integrity, with purpose. 11 is the Justice card, so it's giving 110%. And this is, he's standing still here. He's not, some of the knights are running through the fields, right? Swords raised, wands outstretched, but he sits. He ponders what he's riding into. He doesn't just go full gallop forward and hope that he's going to run into it. He surveys the land in front of him, the horizon. Which way is the best way to go? Is it safe in this direction? What obstacles lay in my path? So he's asking us to be the diplomat. Also meditation, prayer, reflection, all good ways of tapping into thinking about your plan and how to go about it successfully, or your hope or your dream, and how to make the plan in order to go forward successfully. And then we have the King of Wands, who I just love in this deck because he looks like he just wants to have fun and go, go, go. And really he says you have to do something today. Something little to move you forward in the right direction. Something that says, this is the way I want to go. And know that with the Jupiter retrograde, and I think I started saying this and then I kind of, you know, you know me, I just start talking and what comes out comes out. So, and so I lost what I was going to say again. Oh, Jupiter retrograde. You will probably be tested at some point on whether or not you are ready for that abundance to come in. But this is a day, just as it goes stationary and ready to go retrograde on us, so stationary retrograde, it's a time to make a statement to yourself. And don't waver on it over the next 4 months. To do something every day. To say, I'm doing this. I don't care what roadblock comes in. I don't care what test comes in. I've got this. And make a commitment to yourself and make your own plan in your own time frame. Absolutely. And do something small every day. And he wants the adventure. Mars is actually in Sagittarius, so. And the planets are starting to move into Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So there is this fire energy, this Mars, and Mars is in Sagittarius. That could be travel, that could be growing your knowledge. Although I think today the moon actually squares Neptune. So we could be doubting our own spirituality, our connection to God, our angels, our spirit guides. And these cards say to look in a different direction than that, that's for sure. Let's get an affirmation card. Oh, and 22, pardon me, 22 in the tarot is the Fool card. And the Fool is the beginning of a path. Now, what happens is it starts at the 0 card and we walk through the major arcana, and then we end up at the World card, and then we go into 22, which is the Fool. My voice is leaving me. I better get on with this reading. So we are taking our newfound wisdom, courage, self-esteem to the new path that lays in front of us, to begin again, to begin anew. And really, that is the Empress energy. 10 of fire. Told you there was fire coming up around us. Fire. I told you, Jupiter. Jupiter is kind of a detox to what is not good for us in this life. Whether it is what we are eating or our habits, maybe we smoke, maybe we drink, maybe there's a lack of exercise, maybe it's something in our external world that affects our mood or our energy or our time or our resources in a negative light. Burning away, releasing excess, endings clear, ways for beginnings. I may be overcommitted and have taken on too many burdens. In this moment, I do the work of decluttering my life. All that I release will take new form and serve the greater whole. But I no longer need to hold on to it simply because it had once seemed to have value for me. I thank it for what it did for me, but say goodbye to the emotions, relationships, and situations that I realize do not belong in my life anymore. And remember, we're coming up on a new moon, March 17th. So we are in that full moon energy of releasing, of healing, of endings, of closures, of letting go, of preparing ourselves to move forward. So, I may be overcommitted and have taken on too many burdens. In this moment, I do the work of decluttering my life. You know, we're sitting there, we're looking forward. We're not making any rash decisions here. Yes, maybe we should take a step But we're not going to jump in with both feet. We're not going to jump off the cliff. Even though the fool lingers on the cliff, he never jumps off the cliff. He follows the path down. All that I release will take new form and serve the greater whole, but I no longer need to hold on to it simply because it once seemed to have value for me. I thank it for what it did for me, but say goodbye to the emotions, relationships, and situations that I realize do not belong in my life anymore. Let's get an animal card. I love how all the decks complement each other with the energy each and every time. Go the extra mile with the elephant. We are just talking about that. Doing the 110%, right? That's the 11 energy. That's the 2018 energy that we are going to be or have to make a commitment to for the entire year in order to really see the success that can be. This year is a magical year. Believe that and believe that it's intended to be on your path. Nurture, productive, communicate, telepathy, and listen. The purpose of life is not to be happy, but to matter, to be productive, to be useful, and to make it have made some difference, that you have lived it all. Elephant reminds you that when you feel like quitting, it just means that you've got extra steps to take. Many times, people set goals and stop in the middle of them, frustrated, but elephant motivates you to keep going. It could be an exercise program, a new skill that you want to try, or a friend that you have been meaning to call. Elephant teaches us that being gentle, having commitment, and clear communication can help in our relationships. On the outside, Elephant looks like an intimidating creature, but she is actually a nurturer, wanting everybody to succeed and feel protected. Elephant is also very telepathic and, with a sixth sense, can feel the energy around her, with friends, family, and even strangers. She senses danger and responds accordingly. Elephant reminds you that you are needed and how to get a good feel for it. You are needed. And Elephant's going to help you get a good feel for it. To understand that you are wanted, that you are needed, that you are loved, that there is something that you can do that nobody else can. Elephant reminds you that you are needed and how to get a good feel for it. The words may not be spoken. Although elephants are large and heavy, they walk noiselessly with much grace. Elephant gives you subtle hints that you are needed. Listen to the warning signals with all your senses. And that knowing, right? You ever have somebody you're meeting somebody for coffee and they sit down and you go, "What is the matter?" And you haven't really even focused on them yet, but you felt their energy. Or one look confirmed your suspicions of the energy. There was no doubt in your mind. And you feel the same things when it's good news. You can tap into it. And the closer you are to somebody, the easier it is to tap into that energy with them. And some people take it all on. So protect yourselves, please. So that you're not taking on other people's emotions, feelings, dramas. They're called energy vampires. And they might be wonderful people, but when they get around you, they come near you, they're drawn to you because you have great energy, and you were all ready to go and do 1,000 things, and after 5 minutes with that person, you just want to take a nap because they've actually taken your energy, and they walk away feeling great because, you listened to them for a few minutes, and you helped them out, and you need to crawl into bed. Protect yourself. so that people can't do that, okay? Place those mirrors around you facing outwards. Okay, and the reason we want the mirrors to face outwards is so if evil tries to come near, or something tries to come close to you and harm you in any way, evil can't stand its own presence, its own seeing itself. Evil can't see it wants it. Evil does not, cannot, will not look itself in the mirror, so it can't come any nearer to you. It has to retreat. It has to go back from where it came from. You're not sending it there. The person sending it out, it just comes back to them. So, and goodness attracts goodness. Love attracts love. So that starts to be the wall around those mirrors for you. Love, protection, security. You don't believe me? Try it. Do it a couple of days. Protect me with mirrors facing outwards around me. And just imagine a wall of mirrors put facing outwards surrounding your entire body, forming a circle around you. And watch, because certain relationships, and there's no fights, there's no anger, there's no confrontations. They just all of a sudden, some people in your life will just start to take a different route to work. You just don't see them. Your paths just don't cross anymore. You're not drawn to those situations or invited to things anymore that were actually taking your energy, dissipating your energy or your time or your resources. Anyways, strong energy today. Okay. You know, we've been asked so much to dream our dream. And now we're asked to look at what we already have, to not really look at the dream of going forward today as much as what we have right now at this moment. And Jupiter's going to ask us to go into a detox, mind, body, and soul, your environment. So use the elephant's sixth sense to know what is a good situation for you and what isn't. And maybe something once gave you value, but it's time to allow it to dissipate in your life. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.